claims of names found within the Epstein files, and Ellen DeGeneres' name comes up. Listen here.
¡Asquerosidad! ¡Comieron humanos! Yo no estaba enterada de nada. Que había, o sea, de los asesinatos sí, pero que habían comido humanos!
Now the question we're all asking ourselves is there any validity to this? Now, there have been people that have come forward claiming that Ellen DeGeneres was, in fact, eating children.
She was already a household name. She had a full staff, including a personal chef trained in Paris. The kind who turned lentils into sculpture. But when it came to certain meals, she didn't let him touch a thing.
Now, I will say that the person that is whistleblowing right here is clearly reading what they're saying. It's not something like they're just having an interview. They are definitely reading this statement.
There was a separate kitchen on her property, stainless steel, private entrance, no security cameras inside. The chef handled the sauces, the garnishes, the staging, but she insisted on doing the hard part herself. Said it grounded her, said it made the energy right.
So clearly this is some type of a mental thing that is being claimed that made her feel good and powerful, taking care of the actual main course, which, as you're soon going to hear, is not something any of us truly eat.
She wore a chef's hat like it was a crown. She believed consumption was transformation, that youth could be taken in, that vitality could be absorbed. She talked about ancient rites, about elites throughout history who understood what the masses didn't. It wasn't framed as cruelty. It was framed as tradition. The dumplings were her signature.
All right, so saying that the dumplings were something that she'd created and that inside of the dumplings, the filling was actually human flesh.
Folded carefully, almost lovingly. Served at private dinners first. Studio heads, rising stars, political donors. She would watch as they ate, not hungrily, not nervously, but with that sociopathic calm, studying their faces. They complimented the seasoning, the texture. She would smile. And she wasn't an anomaly. That was the part that still keeps me up. There were whispers, other estates, other gatherings.
As we're hearing all of this, I think it's important that all of you chime in and that you understand that I don't know if any of this is real. It seems so out there and so unreal. She's someone that the community loved, or much of the community loved. But people are even saying that she fled the United States not because Donald Trump became president, but in fact, she was trying to run away from all of these secrets.
Special occasions, contracts signed over candlelight. Refrigeration units in basements stocked with whole babies marinating in special sauces. Jokes about saving something rare for a premiere or an award win. You heard enough and you stopped reacting. It wasn't about appetite. It was about power and crossing a boundary so absolute that everyone at the table became complicit. Once you shared that secret, whatever you believed you'd consumed, you were bound to the group. No one betrays a circle that can destroy them.
That's important right there as well. If you actually know what it was you were consuming and you knowingly did that, you then are tied to keeping those secrets. So again, it could have been another power control.
She even brought the dumplings to a few tapings of her show. Homemade, she said with that psychopathic grin. Audience members lined up for samples. Crew grabbed them between segments. I remember holding one, feeling the warmth in my palm, and realizing the real performance wasn't happening on camera. It was happening in plain sight.
All right, now, another thing that needs to be noted is throughout that whole recording, if you listen closely, you can actually hear this like dogs. I feel like the person that was making that recording was either working at has a lot of dogs at their house, was working at a dog shelter. It just seemed very strange that a more quiet position or place to do that type of a taping couldn't take place. Now, it's been said that these people are vampires. This is going on, and Roseanne Barr mentioned it here, and I know you probably have seen this clip in some of my previous videos.
You know they eat babies. That is not bullshit. It's true.
So it's not just the dogs and the cats, not just the pets.
It's not just the dogs and the cats. They're full-on vampires.
What do you think of Roseanne Barr? We did put a full video out regarding all of her accusations regarding Epstein, and who knows, maybe even Ellen DeGeneres was a part of that. But that is not all. We have another witness right here coming forward and telling a story of what they have seen regarding Ellen DeGeneres, accusing her of very similar things. This one is a bit more graphic.
She ate her. Ellen straight up ate Anne Heche, piece by fucking piece, over years, like it was nothing. That's the sick love story behind the perfect couple everyone cheered for back in the 90s.
Now, for those of you who don't know, Anne Heche was Ellen DeGeneres' girlfriend back in the 90s. They were an openly gay couple, and it was a very publicized relationship.
Look, I'm not here doing some dramatic speech. I'm just a guy who used to be that kid on TV, the one from those cheesy family shows back in the day, smiling through whatever bullshit was going on behind the scenes. I got out, mostly, but I never really left. Not when Anne needed someone who understood the machine. We were working together on this documentary.
All right, so Children of the Machine, talking about essentially children that were being brought up in this whole grooming path. This is clearly someone who was a child actor in that space, and mind you, they also seem to be reading off of a script for this interview.
Children of the Machine. And it was her baby, exposing the child trafficking, the abuse rings, how the big names protect their own. I was helping, digging with her, putting pieces together. After she died in that crash, the one the whole world watched explode on screen, we didn't stop. The team's still underground, finishing it, making sure it drops no matter what. She didn't go through hell for nothing. We'll get it out there. But man, what really fucks me up, what keeps me awake shaking, is what happened to her before they took her out.
Now, again, right now, he's talking about Anne Heche, which was Ellen DeGeneres' girlfriend back in the 90s, who died in a car crash. Apparently, she had been drinking a bit before driving that car, and unfortunately died in that car crash.
That crash wasn't random. It was a hit to shut her up. And the poison started way before, in her relationship with Ellen. They were the it couple, the lesbian power duo on every cover. Looked perfect. Wasn't. Ellen pulled her into the dark shit. The real Hollywood underbelly. Cannibalism. I'm not kidding. Ellen was obsessed, talking about it like it was normal, like the ultimate high. It's how we connect, she'd say. You give a part of yourself, I take it in. She started small, biting Anne's lip at first, leaving her bruised and bloody. But it made Anne feel wanted, and she insisted to friends it was romantic.
All right, this is definitely strange stuff, like feeling like you need to feed on your loved ones, power play maybe, craziness maybe, completely untrue. Please keep in mind it maybe, very possibly, could be that as well.
Then Ellen started pushing Anne to let her drink her blood. Ritual purposes only, she said. But it became uncomfortable for Anne when she started passing out because she'd lost too much blood. Oh God. Then Ellen was demanding to cut off bits of Anne's body. Nothing vital, she'd promise. Skin, maybe a finger chunk. In their bed, blood everywhere. Ellen acting like it was the most intimate thing ever. Anne told me about it one night, crying so hard she could barely get the words out. She'd clean the cuts with her tongue, tell me I tasted like forever. I felt like I was being erased. Then it ramped up. Ellen took her to this hidden spot, some exclusive place where the elite get served human meat like it's sushi.
Now, I wonder if this is them talking about Epstein Island and things went on over there, if that's where the connection comes in.
Everyone's in on it, she'd whisper. Producers, actors, they do it to stay sharp. Stay in the circle.
I think that's the biggest part right there. He said to stay in the circle, because this is what we're hearing much of Hollywood's elite were participating in, to stay in that social circle doing these terrible things.
Anne tried to push back, wanted to know where the meat came from, But Ellen wore her down, made it sound like she was the weird one for saying no. The kidney, Jesus. Ellen talked her into surgery. Remove one, you can live without it, right? Then she ate it, in some creepy ritual at home. Anne said she just sat there numb while Ellen went at it, raw, moaning like a savage. Now you're part of me, Ellen told her. Anne threw up for days after. That's when she snapped. She couldn't do the crazy anymore. The bloodlust, the endless hunger. They broke up and shit hit the fan.
I mean, it sounds so unbelievable to think that someone that's so well known could be doing all of this crazy stuff behind doors. And again, the question is, do we believe this type of a thing, or do we think it's completely fabricated information?
Hard fights, threats, all of it. But even death didn't stop Ellen. Word in the industry, whispers everyone hears but nobody says out loud. Ellen got Anne's body after the crash.
Word in the industry, he said. This was not something that this person saw. This is word across the industry that he got her body after the crash. What did she do with it, though? I bet you could probably guess.
Pulled strings, paid people off, whatever it takes. Had her frozen in that big house, carved up slow, ate her over years. Revenge, obsession, who the hell knows? Just eating her ex like takeout. And she didn't keep it to herself. Those dumplings she makes, the ones she hands out at parties, or used to give to fans on the show. Here, try my special recipe. Yeah, bits of Anne in there. People eating, laughing, thanking her. No clue they're chewing on a dead woman. It's an open secret. People in the know just look away, because that's how it works here. Complicit or scared silent.
Who do you think this person is? I'm sitting here as I'm listening, just thinking, who is this child actor that was a part of this and saw this stuff going on? Or is this just a masked person that's pretending to be someone that they're not?
I'm done staying quiet. This hurts like hell to say, but Anne deserves the truth out. The trafficking, the rituals, it's all tied together. Children of the Machine is going to rip it open. Stay tuned.
Very curious on what's going to be said and what that documentary is going to look like, Children of the Machine. And if you think this is crazy, check out what Mel Gibson and Roseanne Barr had to say.